Anatomy versus physiology, understanding the body's blueprint and function. Welcome to our video, where we'll explore two fascinating and essential scientific fields, anatomy and physiology. In this lesson, we'll define each term, explain their differences, and show how they complement each other. We'll use simple, clear explanations and relatable examples to help you understand these subjects and why they matter. By the end, you'll see how anatomy and physiology come together to form the foundation for understanding the incredible human body. Whether you are studying biology, aiming for a career in healthcare, or simply curious about how the body works, this video is just for you. Let's start by breaking down the term anatomy. Anatomy focuses on the structures of the body, all the parts that make you, you. It's like examining a detailed map of the human body. This includes bones, muscles, organs, and even smaller structures like cells and tissues. For example, think about the human heart. In anatomy, we study its shape and size, the four chambers inside, the atria and ventricles, and the blood vessels attached to it. Anatomy gives us a view of the heart as a physical object, what it looks like and how it's built. To help you visualize, imagine looking at a 3D model. You can explore the heart's outer layer, cut it open to see its internal parts, and identify the arteries and veins that connect to it. Anatomy answers the what and where questions about the body's structures. Next, let's dive into physiology. While anatomy tells us what the body looks like, physiology explains how those body parts work. It's all about understanding the functions of those structures and how they interact to keep us alive. Going back to the heart. Physiology examines how the heart pumps blood throughout the body. It explains how the heart's chambers contract and relax during a heartbeat, how blood is oxygenated in the lungs, and how it nourishes every organ and muscle in your body. In a sense, physiology is like the operating system of the body. It explains what's happening beneath the surface to keep everything running smoothly. It helps us answer the how and why questions about body functions. Now that we've defined both terms, let's focus on their differences. The simplest way to separate them is anatomy equals sign structure, physiology equals sign function. You can think of anatomy as the blueprint or building blocks of the body. It's what you can see and touch, a muscle, a bone, or an organ. On the other hand, physiology is the operations manual of the body. It explains how those parts work and interact. Here's an easy analogy. Imagine a car. Anatomy would focus on the physical parts of the car, such as the engine, wheels, brakes, and lights. Physiology would explain how the engine produces power, how the brakes stop the car, or how the fuel ignites to keep the car running. These two fields are closely related. You can't fully understand one without the other. Just like knowing the shape of a car engine doesn't tell you how it works, knowing the structure of an organ doesn't explain its function. Similarly, understanding how an organ works requires knowing its structure. To understand anatomy better, we can divide it into types. Gross anatomy. This involves studying large structures visible to the naked eye like bones, muscles, and organs. For instance, looking at a diagram of the skeleton or dissecting a frog falls under gross anatomy. Microscopic anatomy. This focuses on structures too small to be seen with the naked eye, like cells and tissues. For example, studying the tiny air sacs inside your lungs, called alveoli, would require a microscope. Studying anatomy helps us identify all the parts that make up the human body. It also provides a foundation for learning about their functions, which we explore next in physiology. Physiology explains what body structures do and how they do it. This includes functions like breathing, digesting food, and circulating blood. Scientists often study physiology by observing how different systems in the body work together. For instance, the respiratory system, physiology here focuses on how your lungs take in oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. The circulatory system, Physiology examines how the heart pumps oxygen-rich blood to your organs and brings oxygen-poor blood back to your lungs for refreshment. Everything in the body has a purpose. Whether it's a single cell or an entire organ system, physiology is about understanding those purposes and how they link to survival and health. To make this concept even clearer, let's return to the car analogy. Imagine you're looking at a car. The anatomy of the car includes its observable elements, the tires, engine, steering wheel, and doors. The physiology focuses on how those parts work together. The wheels rotating to move the car, the engine converting fuel into energy, and the brakes stopping the car when pressed. In the human body, anatomy and physiology work the same way. The parts, anatomy, and their functions, physiology, come together in a smooth, interconnected system. To see the interdependence of anatomy and physiology, let's use a real-life example, the human heart. Anatomy of the heart. The heart is a muscular organ about the size of your fist. It has 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles, and is connected to major blood vessels like the aorta and pulmonary arteries. Physiology of the heart. The heart's job is to pump blood throughout your body. During each heartbeat, blood flows through the chambers, is oxygenated in the lungs, and then supplies nutrients and oxygen to your tissues. Without anatomy, we wouldn't know the heart's structure. Without physiology, we wouldn't understand its life-sustaining function. Together, these fields give us a full picture. You might be wondering, why should we care about anatomy and physiology? These fields are vital for many reasons. Healthcare. Doctors and nurses use this knowledge to diagnose and treat illnesses. For example, understanding lung anatomy and physiology helps medical professionals treat asthma or pneumonia. Everyday life. We rely on our bodies every day, and understanding how they work can help us take better care of them. Exercise, nutrition, and sleep all directly affect anatomy and physiology. Education and careers. Students aiming for fields like medicine, physiotherapy, and sports science need a solid understanding of both anatomy and physiology. Studying anatomy and physiology can be challenging due to the sheer amount of information. Here are some tips to make learning easier. Use visual aids. Images, 3D models, and videos can help you visualize body parts and their functions. Simplify concepts. Break complex ideas into smaller, digestible pieces. For example, focus on one organ or system at a time. Practice regularly. Use flashcards or quizzes to test your knowledge, especially for anatomy, where memorization is key. Did you know? Your body contains 206 bones, and about 25% of those are in your hands and feet alone. The heart pumps nearly 2,000 gallons of blood each day. The muscles in your eyes move roughly 100,000 times a day to help you focus. Anatomy and physiology truly reveal how intricate and amazing the human body is. Let's quickly review what we've covered. Anatomy is the study of body structures. Physiology is the study of body functions. Together, they help us understand how the human body is built and how it works. We explored examples like the heart and drew comparisons through relatable analogies such as cars. We also discussed real-world applications from healthcare to daily life and shared tips to make these subjects easier to study. The human body is a remarkable, interconnected system, a combination of intricate design and effective functionality. Exploring anatomy and physiology not only deepens our understanding of science, but also gives us valuable insights into our own health and well-being. Whether you're pursuing an academic career, healthcare, or simply curious to learn more, anatomy and physiology can open up an incredible world of knowledge and opportunities. Are you ready to dive deeper into this exciting field? Check out our engaging online courses designed specifically to make anatomy and physiology simpler and more accessible for students. Join us today and take the next step toward mastering the marvel that is the human body. Let's keep exploring and learning. See you in the next video.